Ninth truth, the gate of God's bestowal of life and death, the manifestation of the names of eternally living and self-subsistent, and giver of life and giver of death. Is it at all possible that the one who gives life to this vast, dead and dry earth, who in so doing demonstrates his power by deploying more than 300,000 different forms of creation, each of them as remarkable as man, who further demonstrates in this deployment his all-embracing knowledge by the infinite symbactions and differentiations he makes in the complex intermingling of all of those forms, who directs the gaze of all his slaves to everlasting bliss by promising them resurrection in all of his heavenly decrees, who demonstrates the splendor of his dominicality by causing all of his creation to collaborate with one another, to revolve within the circle of his command and his will, to aid one another and be submitted to him, who shows the importance he has given to man by creating him as the most comprehensive, the most precious and delicate, the most valued and valuable fruit on the tree of creation, by addressing him without intermediary and subjugating all things to him. Is it at all possible that so compassionate and powerful a one, so wise and all-knowing a one, should not bring about resurrection, should not gather his creatures together or be unable to do so, should not restore man to life, or be unable to do so, should not be able to inaugurate his supreme court, should not be able to create heaven and hell? Nay, indeed, by no means is any of this possible. Indeed, the almighty disposer of this world's affairs creates, in every century, every year and every day, on the narrow and transient face of the globe, numerous signs, examples, and indications of the supreme gathering and the plane of resurrection. Thus, in the gathering that takes place every spring, we see that in the course of 5 or 6 days, more than 300,000 different kinds of animal and plant are first gathered together and then dispersed. The roots of all the trees and plants, as well as some animals, are revived and restored exactly as they were. The other animals are recreated in a form so similar as to be almost identical. The seeds, which appear, in their outward form, to be so close to each other, nonetheless, in the course of 6 days or 6 weeks, become distinct and differentiated from each other, and then with extreme speed, ease and facility are brought to life in the utmost order and equilibrium. Is it at all possible that for the one who does all of this, anything should be difficult, that he should be unable to create the heavens and the earth in 6 days, that he should be unable to resurrect men with a single blast? No, by no means is it possible. Let us suppose there were to be some gifted writer who could write out in a single hour the confused and obliterated letters of 300,000 books on a single sheet without any error, omission or defect, complete and in the best form. If someone were then to say to you that that writer could write out again from memory a book written by him that had fallen into the water and become obliterated, would you then say that he is unable, and would you not believe in his ability? Or think of some talented king who, in order to demonstrate his power, or for the sake of providing a warning example, removes whole mountains with a single command, turns his realm upside down, and transforms the sea into dry land. Then you see that a great rock rolls down into a valley, so that the path is blocked for guests travelling to attend the king's reception, and they are unable to pass. If someone should say to you, that exalted one will remove or dissolve the stone, however great it may be, with a single command, he will not leave his guests stranded, would you then say that he will not remove the stone or be unable to do so? Or if someone one day should gather together a great army, and you are then informed that he will summon its battalions together with a blast of the trumpet after they had dispersed to rest, and the battalions will form up in disciplined shape, would you respond by saying, "I don't believe it"? Were you to say any of these things, your behavior would truly be madness. If you have understood these 3 parables, now look further and see how the pre-eternal designer turns over in front of our eyes the white page of winter, and opens the green pages of spring and summer. Then he inscribes on the page of the earth's surface, with the pen of power and destiny, in the most beautiful form, more than 300,000 species of creation. Not one encroaches upon another. He writes them all together, but none blocks the path of another. In their formation and shape, each is kept separate from the other without any confusion. There is no error in the writing. That wise and preserving one, who preserves and inserts the spirit of a great tree in the smallest seed, no bigger than a dot. Is it permissible even to ask how he preserves the spirits of those who die? That powerful one, who causes the globe to revolve like a pebble in a sling. Is it permissible even to ask how he will remove this globe from the path of his guests who are traveling to meet him in the hereafter? Again, the one of glorious essence, who from non-being recruits anew and inscribes into his battalions with the command of "Be, and behold it is," and with utmost discipline, the troops of all living things, the very particles of all of their bodies, and thus creates highly disciplined armies. Is it permissible even to ask how he can make bodies submit to his discipline like a battalion? How he can gather together their mutually acquainted fundamental particles and their component members? You can, moreover, behold with your own eyes the numerous designs made by God as signs, similes and indications of resurrection, designs placed by him in every age and epoch of the world, in the alternation of day and night, even in the appearance and disappearance of clouds in the sky. If you imagine yourself to have been living 1,000 years ago, and then compare with each other the two wings of time that are the past and the future, then you will behold similes of the gathering and indications of resurrection, as numerous as the centuries and days. If, then, after witnessing so many similes and indications, you regard corporeal resurrection as improbable and rationally unacceptable, know your behavior to be pure lunacy. See what the Supreme Decree says concerning the truth we are discussing.
فانظر إلى آثار رحمة الله كيف يحيي الأرض بعد موتها إن ذلك لمحيي الموتى وهو على كل شيء قدير.
Look upon the signs of God's mercy, and see how he restores life to the earth after its death. Verily, he it is who shall bring to life the dead, and he is powerful over all things. In short, there is nothing that makes impossible the gathering of resurrection, and much that necessitates it. The glorious and eternal dominicality, the almighty and all-embracing sovereignty of the one who gives life and death to this vast and wondrous earth, as if it were a mere animal, who has made of this earth a pleasing cradle, a fine ship for man and the animals, who has made of the sun a lamp, furnishing light and heat to the hostelry of the world, who has made of the planets vehicles for the conveyance of his angels. The dominicality and sovereignty of such a one cannot rest upon and be restricted to the transitory, impermanent, unstable, insignificant, changeable, unlasting, deficient, and imperfect affairs of this world. He must therefore have another realm, one worthy of him, permanent, stable, immutable, and glorious. Indeed, he does have another kingdom, and it is for the sake of this that he causes us to labor, and to this that he summons us. All those of illumined spirit who have penetrated from outer appearances to truth, and have been ennobled with proximity to the divine presence, all the spiritual poles endowed with luminous hearts, all the possessors of lucent intelligence, all bear witness that he will transfer us to that other kingdom. They inform us unanimously that he has prepared for us their reward and requital, and relate that he is repeatedly giving us firm promises and stern warnings. As for the breaking of a promise, it is baseless and utter humiliation. It cannot in any way be reconciled with the glory of his sanctity. Similarly, failure to fulfill a threat arises either from forgiveness or powerlessness. Now unbelief is extreme crime and cannot be forgiven. Footnote 29. Unbelief denounces creation for alleged worthlessness and meaninglessness. It is an insult to all of creation, a denial of the manifestation of the divine names in the mirror of beings. It is disrespect to all the divine names and rejection of the witness borne to the divine unity by all beings. It is a denial of all creation. It corrupts man's potentialities in such a way that they are incapable of reform and unreceptive to good. Unbelief is also an act of utter injustice, a transgression against all of creation and the rights of God's names. The preservation of those rights, as well as the unredeemable nature of the unbeliever's soul, make it necessary that unbelief should be unpardonable. The words,
إن الشرك لظلم عظيم.
To assign partners to God is verily a great transgression. Verse from Quran, chapter 31, verse number 13, express this meaning. The absolutely omnipotent one is exempt of and exalted above all powerlessness. Those who bring us their testimony and report, despite all the differences in their methods, temperaments and paths, are totally unanimous and agreed on this basic matter. By their number they have the authority of unanimity. By their quality they have the authority of learned consensus. By their rank each one is a guiding star of mankind, the cherished eye of a people, the object of a nation's veneration. By their importance each one is an expert and an authority in the matter. In any art or science, 2 experts are preferred to thousands of non-experts, and 2 positive affirmers are preferred to thousands of negators in the transmission of a report. For example, the testimony of 2 men affirming the sighting of the crescent moon at the beginning of Ramadan totally nullifies the negation of thousands of deniers. In short, in the whole world, there is no truer report, no firmer claim, no more apparent truth than this. The world is without doubt a field, and the resurrection a threshing floor, a harvest. Paradise and hell are each storehouses for the grain.